Our next question is from Dan with Wedbush.
A great quarter, and congrats to you and the team. So my question is, with boot camp conversions, has it even surprised you just how quickly, from a customer coming into a boot camp, potential customer, to conversion to mega deals, what you're seeing, and what do you think that says about your process and where we are in this AI revolution where Palantir sits?
Yeah, I think obviously the most indicative of what we're seeing and the impact is the results. I gave examples of boot camps where we're seeing multiple different customers across different industries that are going from the initial boot camp to a 7-figure ACV deal within a matter of less than 2 months. We're seeing that, we're feeling that in the conversations we have with customers in then our push to go from prototype to production and the expansions we're seeing at customers. And I'm seeing that, in the conversations, as we said, really it's going to be the AI haves and the have-nots. The haves are moving quickly, making decisions quickly, and adopting quickly. And I'm feeling that in the conversations we have with them in the conversions we're seeing.
I would just say that the most surprising thing is just how there's a small number of increasingly large number of customers, meaning industry, that get this, and they are just moving really quickly. And anyone who's involved in the enterprise, so if you take company XYZ, and then 5 people go to a different company, the first thing they do is pick up the phone and call us. And so it's just the way in which this just expands in the U.S. and in some other countries, but especially in the U.S., from anyone who touched this wants to use it in any part of anything they're doing. And it goes from one person, and then there's this transience in America where people really are moving to different companies a lot, and they're talking to each other, and there's just a willingness to take business metrics and use those business metrics against technology that's not ideological. And if you look at even 10 years ago, there was no form of software that had this kind of adoption and this kind of readiness. And also, it was conversely just not possible to show this kind of results this quickly. And we tend to focus on the results on the outside. But AI and large language models also allow us to scale our product on the inside. So one of the unfair things about this revolution is if you have business acumen and you have a product that is good or stellar, in my humble opinion, you can make it even better internally and externally. And so that allows us to also scale many, many more people to many, many organizations with the same number of people, as long as they're the best in the world. And so it's really this from touch to expansion, however we do it. Some of it's boot camps, but some of it's just like, hey, I used to work at a company. I heard really good things about your product. I want it tomorrow. How quickly can you get here? What is the first use case you could do? And then the first thing that they always ask is, well, show me some of the things that you've done in other places. Like even cross-fertilization between government and non-government. I was at an important government entity a couple weeks ago, and they obviously may even be very useful for them. But then they start asking, well, what are you doing for hospitals? Could you use this on FOIA requirements? Could you use the same thing for managing our people? How could you make sure that our people are safe and happy? How do you move parts? How do we do procurement? A lot of the things Shams, so there's like a massive cross-fertilization, even between verticals that otherwise would never talk. In the past, government use cases non-government use cases were just not things we were doing in government. And certainly, from industry to industry, we did not have this, from real estate to supply chain to large hospital things. The use cases that they're doing inside our product, they are technically, basically the same for us.
Thank you.